Hello everyone, welcome to my new Let's Play. I was deciding between two different games, and well, this one won the coin toss. So, we've already played through MGS2 before. It's not time to play Peace Walker yet, which, funnily enough, I don't even know how we're gonna play that, because there are a lot of sections in that game that honestly feel like they're made for like multiplayer stuffs. So, I guess I'll figure that out. I don't know. Uh, Well, what I could do is, in that game they do let you replay the missions, so I might just replay missions, and then when those very long boss fights come, I might just skip it. I don't know. Anyways, now for the game we're gonna play, MGS3, my favorite in the series. Yeah, okay. So I guess let's just get into it. Don't want to waste too much time. I plan on playing this for like what, 40 to 50 minutes an episode, because this game is a bit long. We could probably knock this out in about 20 episodes. I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely not planning on going a whole 90 episodes like what the Great Ace Attorney did. Um, yeah, wow. Thinking about it now, it's actually been a while since I've actually sat down and recorded a video. The last time I did was in, I believe, March or April for Jenny LeClue. But, right, sorry. There is actually an intro for this game. I can't show it, mostly because I'm afraid of copyright. So, yeah, it's gonna come up again and I'll have to skip it, I think. But, so yeah, my apologies. I don't want to show it because of copyright reasons. But, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this. MGS3 Snake Eater HD Edition. So, from the start, we have a few options and a few things to do, of course. I might just go over these at a later point, I guess when we finish the game as a bonus. But there's the only important thing I think I want to go over now would have to be... Sorry, is the volume good? Because I tried to record this before and I've been having volume problems for like a few weeks now. It's only recently I've been able to fix it. So, alright. We're going to load game and we're going to go from my New Game Plus save. That way we can get a few things right off the bat. 4 hours? Well, I mean, this was on very easy, but 4 hours? My golly. Alright. Let's load this up. I'm keeping it on very easy too, because I don't want everything to be ultra difficult where I can't. It would take a while to record stuff.
World War II, the world was split into two.
Ooh, sound good.
This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Right. This takes place during the height of it, I believe, in 1964. Was 1964 the height of it? Ooh, that was loud? Okay. Oh, wait, does this take place during the Cuban Missile Crisis? When was that exactly? I got my phone here. (1962), so it'd be about 2 years before this. Alright.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Well, that was one way to start a game.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Alright. Falling, I think. Yeah, we're going into the territory where MGS games now have like uber long cutscenes. Well, to be fair, I haven't played an MGS in a few years now, so it could have always been this way, but meh.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue,
Wait, the thing has holes in it?
at the recovery point. A recovery
Why?
balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with
the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
And here we are.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Alright, now we're in actual gameplay. Great. Dremuji. Okay, I don't know what that is, but anyways, alright, we're in this. Great. One change already that the HD version actually has over this is that we're actually playing Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, which provides a few changes, I think. Main thing being the camera. This whole third-person camera was not in the original. There was like a more of a cinematic style camera. But yeah. Anyways. Yeah, okay. So, anyways, there are a bunch of systems I'll have to talk about at some point or other. I guess let's just get into it. It's been a while since I played this game, so... It's been a while since I played this game. So I do want to kind of get used to everything over again. Okay, so X was the crouch button. Okay. And while I'm running, I can do this. CQC. R1 is my... that button. I assume square to shoot. And if I equip the knife, I can cut with it. Great. Alright, apologies if you hear my controller as well. Alright then. Let me make sure the actual game is turned down a bit so you guys can actually hear my voice. I'll look at the video. If it's good, great. If not, oh well. Alright. Anyways, I guess to just move forward. Go get our stuff. I think this is one of the ones you sneak under. If the game explains it to you, then I'll probably just skip the explanation or so. Because I feel like I can give a much quicker explanation than what the game can give you. So, yeah. Anyways. Let's get our bag, shall we? Ha. A radio instead of the codec. That's clever.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
How? You monitor us over the radio.
It's necessary to take it out of your backpack.
Sorry.
In the survival view...
Wait, I'm skipping this because it's literally just tutorials for how to use the backpack. So, survival fundamental. Right. Okay. So here's another one. Under our health bar will be a stamina bar. As we play the game, that stamina bar will drop, and if it gets too low, it'll have a certain few effects. The rate at which it drains depends on A, what you're doing, and B, I believe what difficulty you're on, so you shouldn't see mine go down too much unless I'm actively not paying attention to it. We won't be able to shoot accurately, wounds won't heal us smoothly, yep. So yeah, and to recover lost stamina, we'd have to essentially search the area because there's actually small animals in the area we can kill to eat and recover our stamina that way. My only weapon is an MK22 Hush Puppy Tranquilizer gun. Right. Ooh, another one. Suppressors. Yes, some guns, or I think every gun, I'm not sure. I know some guns have suppressors, and those deteriorate as you use them. So, once it reaches 0, the suppressor will be gone. So, yeah. And we'll have to find everything else as we move. Actually, yeah, I have to find my weapon equipment. Whose crazy idea was this? Anyway, yeah. Why would you... Solo covert action or standard Fox operating procedure. But even so, like, you're telling me you couldn't send me in with a few things, that way I can, you know what I mean? Like, not even a few things more than just a knife and a tranquilizer, and a few med kits or something. Seriously, can't leave any trace of your presence. Whatever. Anyways, your presence is already in violation of conventions of warfare. Not supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia, so it could spark an international incident. Oh, okay. So this is a stealth mission. No rescue if you're captured. The military and the U.S. will deny any involvement. Right. Ooh, another one here. A fake death pill. In our items, we will have a fake death pill shaped like a tooth, I believe. Essentially, what it does is it completely knocks us out. So if we're attacked in any way, or if we're like under stress or something, like not under stress, but like if we're being chased or whatever, we can just gulp that down and knock ourselves out for a little bit. But if we stay like that for too long, we're actually gonna die. So what we gotta do is take the revival pill. But be careful. Yeah, so you gotta take the revival pill. And usually they keep it down to the wire, I think. So, yeah. Ooh, okay, sorry. I didn't think it would skip this much from the tutorials. Alright, so, we're gonna have a few new members on our team, of course. The first one, you'll hear her voice later, is Paramedic. Yeah, nice. She'll be our medic, giving us medical information and being our, I guess, mailing of this game, where you get to save data and so on. John Doe. Huh. Alright then. Jane Doe. Clever. 145.73. I should probably remember that, shouldn't I, huh? Wait. Whenever you want to save, do... What was it? 14 something point 60? 140.60, I think? Alright. One more person. Oh, the boss. That's right. Snake's literal mentor. Yeah, and all the sounds stop because he's only paying attention to her. Well, I really should have gotten the sound for this part. Sorry, guys. Wow. Whatever. Of course I can. I know all about you. What's that supposed to mean? Why'd you disappear? You went on a top secret mission for 5 years and didn't say a thing? Seriously? You just left? Spirit and body like two sides of the single coin. Huh. Doesn't mean they'll always be. Having personal feelings about your karma is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. Well, yeah, but unfortunately, when you're fighting a bunch of other people, when you're trying to do a team activity, especially with war, where you're putting your lives in somebody else's hands, yeah, it's kind of hard not to get personally attached. Politics are a living thing, yeah. It had nothing to do with you. Top secret mission, huh? Not quite a soldier. Soldier's political tool, nothing more. Yeah. Alright then. Bother you. Loyalty to the end, huh? We'll be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place. Huh. People are the ones who dictate the missions. So basically, being a soldier is all about not having a mind of your own and just doing what the mission is. At least to her. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even those we love. And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think? The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack. Alright, but do me a favor. What is it? Call me Snake. Snake? Oh, right, your code name is Snake. It suits you well. That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a Snake. A Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake? Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss. Yes? It's good to hear your voice again. Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will even make it out alive. Snake, you were always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. Ooh, great, okay. Next is, I guess, the CQC tutorial. Alright. Next to the major. Communicating us via a radio from a Permit-class submarine. Yeah? 1 for 1.80. Great. Dr. Sokolov, right. Avoid combat. Okay. So, I might just call everybody up. That way I can save.
Try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Haha. Alright.
Commencing Virtuous mission now.
Let's do this. Alright, so, now we're in the game proper. And we have a few more things than we're supposed to. We start off with, of course, a knife, a Mark 22 tranquilizer, a directional microphone to pick up sounds, and an easy gun, which is a tranquilizer gun with a built-in suppressor, and I believe it has infinite ammo. And it gives us more camo and stamina, so that's good. Well, you get this for going on very easy mode, I believe. And if I remember, our backpack, we actually have one more thing. Two more things. 3, 4, okay. A few calorie mates that increase your stamina. And we actually have a few more weapons from New Game Plus. The Single Action Army and the Patriot. Both of these have, well, this has 60 ammunitions and this has infinite ammo. I will be equipping these for now, but once I find actual weapons, I will change them out. These are for New Game Plus, so, you know. Anyways. Over here we have a few things I do want to, I guess, kind of hook up, so to speak. So, let's see. What do I even need? A motion detector is needed. I don't need a camera for anything. I don't think I need a cigar for anything either. I need my fake death and revival pills. And I guess these... The sensor just vibrates your controller, so I don't need that. And I guess I'll keep this like this. Because we actually have a weight distribution, as you might see. Which means that... yeah, so which means that if we're too heavy, we won't be able to move less. Another system I'm not sure the game will teach us yet is the camouflage system. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, you see, of course, a few words and a percentage. As we play the game and we go through different environments, that camo meter will change, as you can see. It changes based on a variety of factors, the most important being 1, movement, 2, if you're in grass, 3, your posture, that is if you're standing, crouching, or lying down. Lying down, it will change. You'll have the least camo, I'll say, least camo while moving. While in your grass, you'll have more. While you're crouching down, you'll have more. And while you're prone, you'll have the most. And the deeper your stuff goes, the harder it is for enemies to see you. But we're not staying in, but there won't be just one environment for the entire game. There's multiple. And as you see, you actually get multiple different kinds of camo. There are, I believe, you start off with a good amount, I believe. Yeah, you start off with a good amount, I think. Yeah, you start off with a good amount. And some of them you get as you're playing throughout the game. Here's the whole list, I guess. Tuxedo, what is this for? Huh. Alright then. Anyways. Yeah, so there's more. Snake pattern camo uniform. I think that gives a bonus in everything, huh? Anyways, yes, so depending on where you are, of course, you'll get more or less camo. So, yeah. And that also includes face tattoos and such. So as you see, we get around 85% camo. Another trick, ooh, snake. Actual snake. Take him out. Right, so this snake is now food. Well, not food per se. When you knock out an animal, it gets put in a creature cage, where you can then release it to attack enemies with. Or you could just eat it. Or you could just eat it. Another thing to note, I guess, I guess we'll talk about that later on, but yeah, so I guess the idea is collect as much food, I guess, as you can. There's no real reason not to collect food, I don't think, because your food can be full, but whatever. Anyways, let's just continue on. Right, codec calls. I gotta make sure I have everyone. I hope the game doesn't pull an MGS1 and make us call ourselves. Yes, okay, great. So we have everything. Whew, that is good. I guess we could talk to paramedic and the boss once. We're like, what, 30 minutes in? Good golly. I guess we'll go for like 15 minutes to an hour, because we got 20 minutes left, huh? Wow.
I see you've captured a giant anaconda. The giant anaconda is believed to be the largest snake in the world in terms of weight and diameter. It's not poisonous, but its large size makes it extremely powerful. They say it even eats crocodiles. Its only natural predator is man.
And snake.
And snake.
Got it. So how does it taste?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
I'm glad I didn't disappoint you. So?
Well, the guide says it tastes all right.
Good. I'll have to try some.
Yeah, that's another mechanic in this game. This game actually has a bunch of hidden mechanics that I guess a lot of people kind of know now, but there's a lot that's like hidden in this game you wouldn't see on the surface, and this is one of them. Whenever you're eating food, Snake has his own taste preferences, and what that means is that certain foods will fill your stamina more than others, and the foods that Snake likes a lot will fill your stamina more, I believe. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when you're sneaking through the jungle.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is literally what I just explained. You got anything else to say?
Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you'll be finding yourself in a lot of unexpected encounters. Naturally, this means that close quarters combat will be more important than ever.
So I'll have plenty of chances to use CQC then.
That's right. In proximity encounters, firing a gun isn't necessarily the best response to every situation. It's only one option among many. Rather than taking the time to draw, aim, and fire a gun, engaging your opponent in hand-to-hand combat can sometimes be a faster and more reliable way of subduing him. Besides, in a sneaking mission like this one, it's too dangerous to go around firing your gun. You'll end up revealing yourself to the enemy.
Yeah, I know. You created CQC to deal with exactly this type of situation.
With your help, of course. In a battle situation, you'll only have a split second to decide how to attack. Use the weapon button to attack using a weapon, and the CQC button to attack using CQC. Press the CQC button once to throw a punch. Pressing it multiple times in succession will allow you to deliver a combo attack.
Okay, this is a tutorial. I'm skipping this again. You can put your enemy into a hold, yeah. And from there you can either knock your opponent off balance and throw him, or choke him out, I think. Grabbing an enemy from behind and holding your knife against the throat will make him virtually powerless, right. You can press hard to slit the enemy's throat, move the left stick to throw him, lightly tap the choke to knock him out. Move around while keeping your grip on the enemy. And by pressing the weapon button, you can aim your currently equipped weapon at another enemy, right. You could press your knife against the enemy to demand information. Alright. Oh, okay. And oh yeah, another thing that's important, you can only use CQC with certain weapons. When you see the CQC icon in the bottom there, then you know you can use it. I guess we'll do our first. Oh yeah, she has information. All these characters have information about a lot of things. You just have to talk to them. And they even talk about your current situation, like for example the type of gun you're holding, or or the other stuff. Actually, hold up. Let me see if she has dialogue for the Patriot of all things.
You're wearing the woodland.
Oh no, does she?
Normally, you would ask a fellow
Huh. Whatever then. Let's continue. I thought she'd have dialogue for the Patriot, but how do I reload? Right, you can hold down the button for this stuff. And I can hold down for hold-ups and such too. Alright then. Let's continue forward. I believe there was some stuff in the grass, I think. Like another snake. And a few frogs we can eat in here. Ooh, this area. Crud. Alright. This area has a bunch of gators. Or the crocodiles. I'm about to find out. You can just knock them all out if you want. I wonder if I could take him out. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Jesus. Sorry, that scared me. Good. Gator meat. Gavial. What is a gavial? Indian gavial, huh? Whatever then. Let's continue forward. I think that should be all the food we'll actually be needing to eat here. Should be fine. Alright. Let us continue. Dremuchij North. Okay.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
They really aren't playing
Snake,
around.
your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer.
Sorry, and this is another tutorial. I'll just skip it because I said this already. We have good camouflage, but yeah, I'll be changing it throughout the game, of course, to fit the current scenario. Anyways, with enemies around, that means I get the chance to test out my CQC abilities. Ooh, what is this? Bug juice, huh. Alright then. Anyways, another thing, I want to test out is if this, yes, you can actually peek around corners and such without getting caught. Downed him. Let's pick him up, drag him over here. I want to test out my CQC abilities. Right, you can pick up and put people down for stuff too, huh? Should be one more. Wake up. Wake up.
Who's that?
Knockdown. Yeah, whatever. Let's try this again. Making sure I know the basics of CQC. And one more thing I want to teach everyone. Quick, huh? Oh yeah, if an enemy didn't see you, you can easily just, yeah, if an enemy didn't see you, you can easily just knock them out before they alert their enemy, they alert their friends. Whatever. You know what, I'm leaving you. And I'm gonna go after your friend here. Got our gun in hand.
Huh? I think I saw something.
Bro. What a fool. But yeah, like I said, if you have enough camo, enemies will not be able to see you. There's no... Well, there is a degree of realism in this game, but not enough to the point where it's like... There is a degree of realism in this game, but not enough to the point where it's like weird in any way, you know? The idea is, if you have enough camo, you can basically do whatever you want. You can even dive down in front of enemies. And as long as they don't see you, you're golden. We're like 40-something minutes in, so I guess after this next section we will, stop, I guess. Oh yeah, the game actually does this from time to time too. Oh. Yeah, the game actually does that. It lets you click the R1 button to see a first-person view, and I think there's also a few secret R1 stuffs as well. All right, let's do this quickly. Let us knock that down. Why? Well, that's easy. Knock it down. Bees will attack, and when they attack, they'll attack him, not only him, but also the friends he has. Let's shoot this bug. This frog. Haha. And that essentially frees you from the entire thing here. So, yeah. That's nice. Ooh. Mushrooms. Great. More food. Let's continue on forward. I think this is it, actually. We probably should just end things here, because we're gonna go into a massive salvo of cutscenes again, which sucks, but it is what it is. Is it? Yes, this is the place. Okay, so I guess we'll just end things here. Not as much action as I thought, but whatever.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Alright, and we will do that next time, because if I were to approach him now, this would take like, what, at a little over an hour with all the cutscenes we have to watch and such. So yeah, I figure it's probably better to end things here. So, we've done a great deal of things. Actually, no, we haven't. What did we do? Talking about we've done a great deal of things. No, we literally just started the game, watched a bunch of cutscenes, and that's it. Alright, let's just save our progress, shall we?
Snake?
Let us save, yes. Let's see, which save file do I use? I like to have multiple, that way if I mess up in recording I can just come back. So, over the Soviet border. Alright, I guess we will just save in the 2 file, and then, what should I do? Should I have 2 save files or 3? Because I want to have at least one in case I mess up, in case some recording mess up, and I can just re-record an episode over again. So, what should I do? I guess I'll give myself like a 1 episode margin of error. That way, if anything messes up, I can just, go back into it. So, I will overwrite save file 2, because I think that's just me playing through it on my own or something. So I guess I'll alternate between the 2 as time goes on.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
Oh, yeah.
No, what is it?
Huh?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Alright. That was a weird conversation. Let's go to Japan to see the original Godzilla. Well, I guess it makes sense because this is 1964, way before the internet or anything. So, anyways, so yeah, that will be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I kind of wanted to record this in preparation for MGS Delta, which is a remake of MGS 3. So I'll release this about October, the same time. So, yeah. Anyways. That'll be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.